Start recording. Okay. So, that email I'll come back to. Aussie dollar. It's just a screenshot for you to look at and please discuss. If we have sellers in today's bar, could we take this trade? Potentially, yeah. Yeah, there's certainly divergence there. Is that the Aussie dollar? Right, Aussie dollar. You could be looking at short. It's still obviously rallying. Momentum is now making higher highs. So it'll be some time before there's a shorting opportunity. Again, on this, you'd be a brave, if not foolhardy, trader to have gone in here on the shorter time frames, such as the 4 hour, when the daily's already overdone. Yep. Daily's certainly overheated already, and so, as I said, hindsight says, yeah, it would have been a great trade, but I think you'd be a very risky trade to take that. So that's still going, and no signs of selling in it yet, so nothing there. But yes, if that had appeared as a, this current bar appeared as a lower low, we could have been looking at that as a short. Obviously that didn't eventuate. Dollar Swiss, yep, this was set up. We've got trend line. Trend line, you got the sellers. Yep, everything's there. Horizontal. Horizontal resistance, and I'll show you mine on that. I've got that there. There is, from the last time it was on the 50, you've got hidden divergence which you're showing. Yep, so that's all looking good. If you have, that's an order, and yeah. With this trend line, I'm not sure, you seem to have gone through that high and gone to this high, just so you can get a third touch. And that's why I don't really like trend lines, because they're open to interpretation like that. Having said that, I've got trend lines all over the euro. I've got trend lines on Aussie, Kiwi, and I've got trend lines on the cable. Yeah, so I'd be just a little careful about doing that. Yeah. Do you think that the strength of the Aussie is helped by the Japanese pension fund starting to buy back Aussie bonds at $5 billion per month? This bearish sentiment on the Aussie is certainly starting to turn. We saw that last week with the FOs. When I looked at the CRT, sorry, on the Aussie, you can certainly see that the change in sentiment. And it could be that the Japanese, 5 billion bonds per month is quite a clip. So you see the commitment of traders here. Let me change this to Aussie dollar. When the internet wants to speed up enough for us to see it. Yeah, so this, you can see the positions here are getting less negative. And if we move this back to, say, 2012, you can see that when it was positive, they were all, price was quite bullish. And as it slipped into bearish mode, they got all negative. and that's starting to happen now, and it could well be that we become bullish. So there is a definite change in sentiment on the Aussie. Economically, I don't. There's no reason for it to be. We're whilst we're not producing negative numbers, we're not exactly setting the world on fire. So, yeah. Anyway, next one, Aussie yen. Aussie yen. Okay. Yesterday we saw the high test of the 618 fib. However, this is a horizontal level, does not appear to be correct. Do we treat the fib level as a strong level and ignore that the next resistance level is more like 97? Potential entry is today. It's not exactly a strong horizontal, as you say. This is seems to be stronger up here. And that was a yen. But that I've got this horizontal here, and that's why I wanted price to come back underneath it, and it certainly did that. Some people got short there. This bar is obviously the bullish Aussie at the moment. Could well ruin this, but time will tell. The Aussie certainly has overheated itself and is due a bit of a pullback, so that might make this okay. Cool. I forgot to send through the analysis on those other trades. Here they are. Maybe I should have reduced my lot size. Yes, on one of them, I noticed that it was more than 1%, so your lot size was incorrect. Let's look at the CHF USD, which is, I've seen this before. I think I've given you analysis. This was an entry. Markets moved a little higher. I wasn't ready for the trade at this point, and I'm still not really ready to trade the Swiss or the. So you're looking to get in there. You should have had a small minor loss, and then getting in here again, and you'd be probably about that loss that you made. So if you're negative, as you were when you took these trades, you should also not be risking 1%. Okay. CAD Swiss. Yeah. This one similarly being a minor loss, but potentially setting up again. Your analysis there is sound. Short trend. This one should have been about a break even. If you got in there, your stop would have been above this bar here, which is your reversal bar, so it would have been a minor win. Yeah. I'm not sure if that was the case on yours. Yes, minor win. Yeah, and your CAD Swiss was more than 1%, so you know, you need to be careful on your lot size. Euro long, again, I wasn't seeing it like the Swiss short, still not, and mainly because for me the euro, what I'm watching on the euro is this high test bar off this trend line here. Not that I'm a big believer of trend lines, but we can see that it's just forming this little wedge and it's stuck in there. Don't be fooled by this trade. This is an income generator. This is a different account. It's not my main account. And yeah, I'm just not liking the price action or the fundamentals on the Aussie at the moment. Okay. Euro, couldn't find a horizontal to get in. Well, let's have a look at the euro. In this high, where is that a reasonable? There's not really, is there? I kind of have to agree with you. You know, it's not clear cut as to the support, although you could go off this as minor. And with trading with the trend, it only has to be a minor. You can see that high there. There we go. So if we put it there, now it's looking a little stronger. You can see on the weekly that we're getting a few more turning points. And so there's a horizontal that you could look at for this particular trade if you are liking it. You couldn't find that horizontal support. Okay. Well, price I've got is effectively 37 or 37.08, but it's effectively just call it a nice round number of $1.37. And I'm just waiting to see what it's going to do on this wedge that I've got here. I think it's due for a run, but the monthly telling me that it's due for a run south. The daily's looking obviously slightly bullish yesterday, so I'm just sitting on the fence. Yeah, for phase one trading, it doesn't need to be any stronger than that. But for going against the trend, it has to be very strong. So you need to have, because you're trading against it, you need to have a very strong reason why the market is going to turn. So that's why we ask for must have a strong horizontal, and then the checklist for the normal one is just a just a horizontal support. It's not a strong horizontal support. Go away. All right. Are we allowed to stack our orders? Multiple orders based on the 4-hour entry as long as stops are moved to protect capital with no definitive target. Yes. You'll always be trailing stops. You can have scale in on the 4-hour if you so desire, but never have more than 1% of risk. So I'll be taking 0.5% on the 4-hour. And then if you're getting your stop in to break even, you can take another 0.5%, or even if your stop is not break even, you can take another 0.5%. So you've got a maximum 1% risk at the moment. So 10 trades of 0.1 is okay. Yeah, I think it'll be a little hard to manage having 10 trades on your screen, but yeah, you could do it. Should we, or can we look at the 4-hour on the euro? Yeah, certainly. If there's a little cycle above here, we could be looking at that. I was looking at that on the Aussie Kiwi. Looking at this I missed last night, but we're looking in here on the 4-hour to get in on what's happening on the daily. So the euro, yeah, it's short. It's obviously not there yet, or ready yet. And I want to buy this, not sell it, but also looking at the smaller time frames on that. But yeah, the euro dollar, you need to have that set up. It's not obviously doing that just yet. So it's in here that you 37.60 area, which is about 30 pips away, is where you're wanting to look for a potential entry. Euro Swiss. I think this works, but have generally stayed clear because they're too highly managed. Yeah. And you don't want to be selling this. Absolutely do not want to be selling the Euro Swiss when the Swiss National Bank are going to be buying it at $1.20, which is 200 pips away. And your target is 84 pips. That's a risk of 1.1 to 1.3. Not ideal. So, yeah, I'd technically it may look okay, but your upside is limited on this. You're in that one. You're in that one short. Well, well, good luck. I hope it works for you. But you are aware of this here, $1.20. The market will shy away from that as it has every time it comes down here. Um, uh, well, you're in it now. You got to manage it the best you can. So there's no reason to move your stop yet. Euro Aussie. This was yesterday morning. Euro Aussie risk reward. Euro Aussie and Aussie Swiss. The risk reward on them. Well, there's no setup yet. We needed this bar to be buying, and it's not there. So no trade there. And this one could have been looking at it as an entry underneath this. Yep, that's a lower low, and therefore you're 140 pips for 120 pips or 130 pips. Not again, it's 1-to-1. So yeah, I would not take that. Okay, dollar Swiss. And then this was yesterday. Dollar Swiss. On through the list today, and I see 3 candidate trades, which I'm taking none. Dollar Swiss short. This is similar, but not quite the same as euro. Also bouncing off the 100 EMA. It's good. I don't use the 100 EMA, which it has respected 4 times. Okay. Trend line touches closer than the euro. Horizontal resistance in the way is less important than euro level. MACD is bullish but has flattened. Also, last ring high was higher than previous 2 ring highs. Okay. Well, you've got your Fibonacci, right? You've got horizontal zone. You've got MACD has flattened and it's actually looks like it's rolling over. Yeah, look at. I'd say yes to this one. You are below both of them, or you will be when you get into it. I wouldn't. I don't want you to get into the habit of throwing moving averages on there to say, oh, it's off this one. Just have one and stick with it, or 2 and stick with them. And you mentioned about the 2 ring highs. Ring high is not the be all and end all. Do you think we should be looking at bond yields to try and help determine the flow of cash and essentially front run the market based on these fundamentals with technicals as backup? If you want, absolutely. Certainly, you should be looking at fundamentals with technicals as your entry point. I don't know if you're going to be able to front run, but yeah. The bond guys tend to move a lot quicker than what we can. Pound trend is more clear. Is this pound? The trend is more clear. Looks like an ascending triangle. Starting a new cycle above the 50 but the AMA is now flat. Looks like an ascending two with the price in the middle of the triangle. We'll prefer to trade this on a break of 67 and a retest. Okay. Interesting. I see this as a very large resistance across here at 68. You can see that it's been up here a couple of times and failed, and that's my concern about it. The reason why I didn't take this little ring low is because this high failed to get anywhere up here. Momentum is now getting sort of to the high side at 76 when it comes up against this resistance line again. So, be interesting to see how it performs when it gets up there. It's been a good run since June last year, and yeah, I'll just see how it happens when it gets to that level there. Everything's pointing towards it needing a correction. And that correction could start, tomorrow night with the Bank of England. They might want to drive their currency down. Everybody wants to get into currency wars, and it's been a while since we've had one. So, euro dollar trend continuation, good strong trend line. So same one I've got. German news, German trade, higher highs, lower lows. Well, if you're looking at this as your cycle, you are. Every time it comes back to this trend line, you're getting higher highs and higher lows. Even if you're looking at the cycle above the 50, you can say yes. So I'm not sure why you said no there. Again, you're looking at the 100 AMA. Horizontal resistance. Yeah, look, as I said, I'm seeing this more in the bigger picture, and I do think it's due for a run, but I think it's due for a run south. Again, the daily it's in the middle of nowhere. The weekly sort of in a bit of a downtrend. I've got an inside bar at the moment, but we've got lower lows. And momentum's in the middle. And here, momentum's to the high side, or slightly to the high side, and we're just getting that squeeze in. So, look, yeah, it's just a little messy to me. Right. It is due to move, but it's just going sideways, and I can't see which way to go, and I'd be more inclined to take the short side than the long side, mainly because economically they're not performing as well as the US. Okay. Raining in Melbourne. Bali sounds good with winter approaching. Yeah. It does. So, Euro set to fall 1,000 pips. Someone's been listening to Zeev. Kiwi phase one, who's Zeev? He's a trader coach at Knowledge to Action. Yeah, look, I like this setup. I just can't bring myself to buy the Kiwi or trade the Kiwi. But it's technically it was looking good. Trend continuation. This one obviously last night made you look like a legend. thanks to the manufacturing production. I didn't like this because this high, we can't say we're getting higher highs. This cycle here, above the 50 and on this trend line you've got, isn't a higher high, so that's why I didn't like that one. I didn't trade that one, but yeah, obviously it did well. Yep, this is looks like it's moving lower. Again, it's an inside bar on them today, but the Aussie's getting pretty bullish. Well, we have business confidence or some crap today on the Aussie. What do they do? Consumer sentiment. Oh, home loans, that's right. Home loans is up 2%. Right. Sorry, where were we? Here. And Aussie Swiss double top on monthly chart indicates trend reversal, mini inverse head and shoulders. Indicating breakout daily setup. Should divergence daily be measured by peaks in an uptrend? Yes. Yep, absolutely. Look, I think the Aussie, what is this? This is the Aussie Swiss. And the Euro Aussie is the same, just upside down. But you can have a look at what you're looking at. So across here is where you're seeing our divergence, and that's where you want to see it. Weekly, monthly. And there's a head and shoulders there, if that's what you're talking about. And broke that. That runs over now. Just looks like it's heading back up to this area here. So what was it crashing? Double top on monthly. Not seeing the double top on the monthly. Hang on. Not seeing the double top on the monthly, but the certainly did look good for an entry short underneath this bar here. That obviously didn't eventuate. If we get a similar high today with a low, we may find another opportunity to get a phase 2 going here. There was no opportunity here, and because there wasn't divergence, so you wouldn't have got in there. Then there was an opportunity. The market didn't behave. The risk reward on this is something you need to consider, though. Aussie Kiwi. Yep. Possible this is a rounded bottom. Possible. Or an inverse head and shoulders. Yeah. Possible inverse head and shoulders. Breakout in the direction of the arrow when the buyers appear. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Massive support at 105. Every time it comes down here, we go back into E signal and can go back further in time, but every time it comes down here, we get a huge turnaround. You can see this trend line I've got here on the weekly. It's not a really strong one, it's 2 touches, but we seem to be floating along that now. And I'm just looking for buyers. We got in here and traded the phase 2. But yeah, I'm wanting to get back in this, and I see a lot of movement to the upside on this. It'll be one of those ones that 5 to 1,000 pips, 500 to 1,000 pips, potentially. Aussie, Swiss, Euro, Dollar. Yeah. Aussie, Swiss. mentioned it. It's all there. Analysis horizontal. Yeah, RSI divergence, fib extension 1.272. So you're in the zone. Only just though, isn't it? Interesting way you've drawn that fib. Okay. Fib I would have drawn is this one. Yeah, and so we can see the 2 was offering resistance. We're obviously above that now. Yeah, so that's the one I would have had, the last significant down move. Essentially buys and pullbacks. Yeah, on the Aussie Kiwi, absolutely. Aussie Swiss, the divergence on the Aussie Swiss. Question on divergence. Short-term versus long-term trend. Mini inverse head and shoulders. As I said, I'm not seeing the double top on the monthly. I'm not seeing any double top. And weekly inverse head and shoulders. Not really. I'm not seeing that either. But the monthly has found support, and you're now getting stronger buying. The weekly again is we're getting buying. So the even the overall long-term trend is for the last 6 or 7 or last 2 years has been weak. But that seems to be turning. The last 6 months has been down, but that's obviously doing an uptrend at the moment. And what you're trying to do here is, pull out 100 pips or so in the pullback, and then be trading with the trend again. And is that against the long-term trend? Should divergence on daily be measured with peaks as an uptrend? I answered that bit. Yes. You're looking at these 2 highs, and you're seeing the divergence. And I see, in the longer time frames, they're showing uptrends. Yes, it has been a downtrend for a period of time, but that's all trends do change direction. It's never one directional. For you might get a 5-6 year run, but that's about it. Okay. Euro dollar. Okay, cycling along that trend, so that's where you've done your analysis from. 618, nice bounce off that. Yes, but well, you could probably say yes to that as well if you want, because it's once it gets above it, or once you're entering it above it, horizontal support. 137 I had, but 136 if you got it. That's it. RSI convergence. Yes, you could say yes, it is converging. Bullish price action. this chart pattern. I'm not sure what you've been net pulling for. Trend line support, resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Interesting to see how that one goes. And technically, you've done everything right. I'm just fundamentally, I'm not with that trade. So many freaking emails. Euro dollar. Yep, everything's there. It's all good. Although this bar looks like it's already started, so you might be a bit late. When did you send me this? Last night. Yeah. I get trading a little late. 37.60. 37.60. Should have been going above this bar, which was the high is 37.48. So yeah, 37.60 is maybe 12 pips away. Yeah. Yep. This Photoshop was done after the end of the trade. Okay. Good. And yeah, the support line I've discussed, channel or trend line is reasonably strong. And yes, you should always look at longer time frames for those certain things. Okay, another gentleman who's also looking at euro dollar and Swiss. His question is, can I only take the one trade as they're highly correlated? They are extremely highly correlated, up in the 90%. And yeah, there's therefore you can take both because they are they're not obviously 100% correlated, but you wouldn't be risking 1% on one of them and another 1% on the other, because if one goes south, they'll both go south. So you got your fib from there to there. It's good. Again, this is entry at 5 pips above yesterday's bar. Yes, at around 137.50 something. Yeah. Someone's telling me that the ECB has resistance at $1.40. You mean to tell me that they're a seller at $1.40? What gives you that number? Yep. It's all good, mate. All right. Now we'll do today's emails. There's only about 20 of these now. Aussie Kiwi question. Has it completed enough of a phase one above to consider going long? Aussie Kiwi, yeah, I think so. I just need to see buying. We saw one day of it. I need to see another day of it, and I'm not seeing that yet. Right. Being held down by my trend line, and even if I change that, dog, to that there, what's that do to this? we're sitting right on it. Yeah, but you want to see some horizontal support, and then if you go off that, that seems to be reasonable sort of horizontal support. So yeah, I just need to see a ring low. If we were long Aussie dollar, would you consider exiting before tomorrow's jobs report? No, look, I'd probably, if I was in it, I'd probably be looking at locking in profit. If you manage to stay in it, by having you stop under this reversal bar. What was that low? Was 17. So if you had your stop just under 92, you know, that low is 05. So you would have survived it, and you'd still be in the trade. You'd certainly be looking to lock profit in by closing half your position and seeing what happens, or even just getting out of it. Right, $1.40 too high for Europeans. Export. Yeah. Well, last week, Draghi said he wanted it lower, and they're talking about ways to do that. So that's why I'm not a believer of the fundamental bullish. I'm sorry, I'm not fundamentally bearish, but the market seems to be bullish at the moment. All right. File looks like it's attached. It is attached. Okay, the Kiwi and cable trades. Well, with the Kiwi, if you would have got long here, you got two buy bars, so your stop would be underneath this bar here at this stage. Um, you know, uh, with momentum getting up there, um, you'd look at probably taking some profit up here by reducing half your trade or something like that. Yeah, but your stops should certainly be there to protect your capital. And cable, big resistance here, and you're getting up there. Big move overnight. I'd certainly have my stop at break even now. There's enough room to protect your capital. Preserving profit, you might want to close out of some of your trade just to lock some profit in and see how it goes when it gets up here. There's no shame in doing that. Aussie yen. Trend reversal. Strong horizontal 96. Good. RSI divergence, yes. Bearish price action, yes. Fib extension 1.5. Okay, well, 1.618 is even better, which is what we look at. We don't have the 1.5 in there, or the 1.786. No. Okay. Hidden divergence, nothing like that. So it's all good. And you're targeting the 50, so that's dynamic. You need to be moving your order along the 50. Aussie CAD. Above them, yes. EMA support. No, you can't say you got EMA support. This is the 20. You're looking at Aussie CAD. Alright. No EMA support. Convergence. You got trend line support if you draw that. Yeah, I think that's ambitious because that's in the middle of the phase. This is how to close half the trade. Double click on the volume in your double click in the size section, and you'll be able to amend your volume, change it. If you want to close half the trade, so we'll change that to 0.1, and then hit the yellow one. Yeah, I think this is being ambitious because this is the middle of the phase. That trend line, you don't have EMI support because you're off the 20. RSI support, don't know what that means. RSI convergence, yes. Bullish price action. Yeah. How much is risk? 0.25%. Again, I think this is ambitious. The Aussie, there is a bit more room to go on the upside compared to the Aussie US. But you're coming in here, you'd say there's resistance right there, and I'll be a little. I wouldn't be trading down here. You'd trade it from down here. Pound CAD. Yeah, look, I'm not sure about this one either. I like it, but there's massive resistance here. Horizontal support, not exactly bouncing off the. All the 183 are horizontal. Is there bullish price action? Last night's new numbers on the pound and CAD, is that the signal of a new uptrend for the pound CAD? Well, the pound was certainly bullish and the CAD was bearish, so yes. Pound news. There's a risk of volatility low as predicted, no changes. Also, pound is approaching resistance, correct. That's another, that $1.68 on the pound. Is risk reward worth it? I don't think so. Whilst the cable got bullish overnight, I don't know if that's going to last. I see this as being big resistance, and I see Carney and the BOE tomorrow night being big resistance. This pound CAD, massive resistance here, $1.80 area, 85 area. It doesn't show us on the monthly or the weekly, but you can see it here. And you've got that as a support level of 80, 81 sort of area, 81, 82. Yeah, I just RSI's in the right spot, and it's all looking good for a long trade. But I fear this resistance and the fact that the pound will find that resistance at the same time on itself. And we've got the BOE tomorrow night, so I'm staying out of that one personally. And if you feel like you're pushing your luck on the trade, yeah, stay out of it. Someone else looking at the pound CAD. Strong trend, yeah, I can see that, and that's fabulous. And I'll wait for Friday on this and see what Carney's got to say on Thursday night, and then I'll have maybe have a look at it. It could be start of a new range. Yes, this was in a range for 5 years until recently. It was here that it broke out of that range right there. That was the retest of it, that bar there, and it was at that point that you broke out of the range. So I'd it could well be going into another range. Yeah, absolutely. 68, 60, 83, or might be a bit more, but trade balance and BOE Thursday. Higher highs, yes. On the daily, not really true. There's massive resistance. Bullish price action, inside buyer bar, then buyer bar. No levels of resistance in the way. 85.50, yes, is big resistance in the way. Yeah. Like your analysis is sound, but it doesn't really tell me if you're looking at that trade or not. But fibs, fair enough. Yeah. And fundamental support, UK doing better than people expecting, Canada doing worse. Yes, my concern is the low was worse than the previous low, and this is reflected in weekly and monthly. Both the last 2 weeks and last month were seller bars with risk return of 1-to-1. It's not strong enough for me to take the trade. Good. Good. All right. Q&A. Aussie yen, your currency pair email today. You called this a good trade. As a trend reversal, I see a strong horizontal resistance, bearish price action, fib extension, but cannot identify RSI divergence. On the Aussie yen, the divergence was here. So we had these 4 highs. Yeah. And if we put it up, we can see that divergence across here. Yeah. Just wanted to ask you how to do a screenshot. Yeah. Easiest way is right click, save as picture. How to do add text is by hitting this A button. But unfortunately, you can only do one line at a time. I think you can get online. You can get scripts. If you go into you get indicators or custom scripts where you can do add more than just one line. But as you might notice, that people send me this as a separate thing, and that's okay too. Dollar yen. Not sure about the analysis. Yeah, dollar yen had a big move against us last night. We've got this trend line. It's an interesting one. Dollar yen. Higher highs and higher lows. If you're going off this trend line, yeah. EMA support, no. Horizontal support, yes. RSI convergence, yes. Bullish price action pending, good. Fib retracement 786. Yeah, yep. I mean, if this trend line is what you're cycling along, then that's your where you should draw your fib from. Hidden divergence, no. Bullish chart pattern, seasonal bullish, yes. Okay. And nothing in the 4 hour, no. I was looking at the 4 hour back here, and didn't in this area, didn't get any entry. The daily for me is now You've got this trend line. And yeah, you need to see more buying. Fair enough. And yeah, you flip Fibonacci's from there to there. Then you give me the 4 hour. You need to see divergence. Alright? You need to see shit, this is you get your this is mate, you'd want to have a pretty strong support line to warrant this, and you really need to see divergence here, and you're not seeing that. Yeah, this is convergence. There's a little bit of divergence at the end of this bar here, but obviously no buying came in, and now you're not going to have divergence here. I prefer you to wait for the daily and trade this on the daily. Trends. Can you please discuss some factors that give rise to emerging strong trends? A shift in fundamentals, mate, would be, I really don't know how to answer that. Can you please discuss some factors that give rise to emerging strong trends, if possible? Yeah, a major change in fundamentals would be the only thing. It's not technical, it's purely fundamental. Strong trends like the Aussie dollar had in May, from May last year. This one here, there was a shift in fundamental stance between the US and Australia. Yeah, the commitment of traders, but the commitment of traders is just following the fundamental understanding of where the economy's at. Policy, policy announcements and economic management by the government is where you get your fundamentals from. Andrew placed this trade this morning. .5%. Your target is 86.68, previous high, which gives you a risk reward of under 1.8. It's not bad, and I hope you get it. As I said, I'm waiting until Friday, and I might miss the opportunity by doing so, but it just wasn't really strong enough for me. Yep, your analysis is sound, mate. I don't see a fib here. You haven't put one in. I've got this bigger one, but yeah, it's obviously not in play. Thin divergence. Okay. Let's interesting. Dollar Swiss. I noticed you mentioned some traded the dollar Swiss short yesterday. Couldn't find horizontals. Okay. The horizontal. I've got this low here, but if we go to the weekly, you'll see it's also there. So I've got this low, and it's reasonably strong enough for me to say, yeah, that's a horizontal. If you look at it on the weekly, let's say across here. Yep. Should we have any concerns about the FOMC? Yeah, absolutely. If if in the pound or the euro, yeah, FOMC tomorrow, or tonight actually, isn't it? the minutes out of that could disrupt this whole selling US dollar thing. And I think the selling US dollar thing is reasonably temporary anyway. They're still looking into reducing their bond buying program by 10 billion a month. I think people may have forgotten about that in recent times. So, well, overnight they might have forgotten about that. So, I think there could be some reversal. Trade balance, I don't think it's going to be a big one tonight. Won't have too much of an impact. I'll be looking at that and the BOE statement tomorrow to see whether or not that figure on the industrial production was warranted. And the 120 pip move that it had, if that's warranted. I don't necessarily think so. We shall see. It's FOMC minutes. Does that still have an impact? Yeah, because there could be something in that they were discussing at the board, FOMC board. They might have discussed something that wasn't made public, and it comes out in the minutes, and that's why people care and want to wait for that release. That makes sense. All right, so that's pretty much it for the day, and I shall see you all again on Friday. All right, guys. You have a good one, and enjoy. We'll chat again on Friday.